Our daughters are taken and kidnapped or trafficked and sold. I just want to get my daughters back. We have children that are taken. They have cigarette burn in their body. Men came and they were playing with the children. They enjoyed just burning their body. Cigarette burn in their body. God wants to stop that.
I've seen the tears of 1,000 lives. I have known the pains behind 1,000 sighs. I have heard the groans of 1,000 slaves. I have seen them walk to 1,000 graves. I have walked a mile in 1,000 shoes. I have seen 1,000 winners lose. I have felt the ache of 1,000 wives. I have heard the pain in 1,000 cries.
And I cry for the mothers whose children died. I cry for the wives whose husbands lied. I cry for the children whose fathers fled. I cry for the husbands whose wives are dead. And I weep for all those who were left behind.
My song is love. Love to the loveless shore.
You know, before she used to be the madam before this one, and God saved her, and she's one of my main staff.
You don't have to be alone.
I've loved meeting the girls. They're so beautiful, and I've had to stop myself a couple times because if I just stop and think about what they've been through, I start to cry. So it's almost like, okay, stop. You just have to do it. But what makes me cry is that they're so joyful, and at times you catch a glimpse of sorrow in their eyes, but most of the time they're just happy.
You don't have to be on your own. And I'm not gonna tell.
Well, I have visited Devaraj in his home, visited his family, seen his ministry there where the children are kept in the compounds, visited with him in the streets of Bombay, met with the ladies in the church who come from his Bible study from the Red Light District, and cried and prayed and talked with them and these beautiful children that he rescues. It's a wonderful ministry, and so I'm delighted that he's doing so well and hear so many good reports from him.
Hi, my name is Rubina, and I'm 21 years old. I'm from Muslim background. I has tuberculosis, and doctor told me that you are going to die within a few days. But when I joined the Bombay Teen challenge, now I'm not having any sickness. The worldly doctor said to me that you are going to die, but my heavenly doctor said, no, you are going to live because you are going to work for me. And now that same thing I have to tell them.
That message holds, come
home. Now I can say that if my God wants, He can do everything. Nothing is impossible for my God. And that's why I want to take off my fear, because I know He's going to do everything. I do not have to take tension for anything, because He is one God that He can do everything.
Well, you know, slavery existed in the world for literally thousands of years, and this was accepted in the governments of the world, and it was just kind of part of the human family. And when it came to America, we had our struggles with it, but we decided it was something that we had to change. And a guy named Abraham Lincoln led the whole nation to reject slavery. And the good news is that America was part of seeing that not accepted in any government in the world now. And slavery is really had a tremendous transformation in that the rest of the world doesn't accept it on the face of it. But the reality remains that slavery in the world still exists. And along comes this man Devaraj, and I know a lot of you know whom I speak. This man is someone I truly believe is one of God's choice servants. He has done more in practical terms in India than anybody I've seen to address the causes of trying to protect women from sexual trafficking and being, as I say, bought and sold as slaves. You know, I went through the red light district with Devaraj, and when we got there, people would know him, and they would come up to him, and they were so grateful that he was there because they knew that he was someone that represented hope. They knew that he was a good man. They knew that he was someone that would try to do something better for their daughters and for their children. Probably the most touching place I went to in India was this children's home where Devaraj had literally dozens and dozens of young girls that they were being rescued. I just think that, you know, as a member of Congress, I probably do a lot of things like this to support people. But let me say to you, if you're wanting to know where you can put financial support to really make a difference in real lives, Devaraj is your man. When you see what would have happened without Devaraj and the work that he does, and you see what has happened in these young ladies' lives, it just makes all the difference in the world. And if it weren't for people that are willing to kind of get their hands dirty and get down in the darkness sometimes with some of these folks, they would have no hope in the world. You are going to be making a difference in real life for those that are the most helpless and the most hopeless. They'll never know your name, but they will walk in sunnier places on the higher roads of life because you helped Devaraj.
You're the God of this city. You're the king of these people.
You know, the amazing thing about what's happening in Kamanipuram in the red light district is that it's one of the darkest places on planet Earth. And yet, the light of Christ through his people is becoming the solution. Devaraj went there 19 years ago. It was one light in a very dark place, and yet that light has multiplied and spread. In fact, Isaiah 9:2 says, "The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shined." And that's really what's happening here. Light is shining in deep darkness. You know, it's been said that if you light a candle in a very dark place, that candle appears to be brighter than if you do it in the light of day. And the truth is, this is a very, very dark place, and the light of the gospel is shining brightly, and it's multiplying. You know, the church goes in, and they have Bible studies inside of the red light district. They have outreaches, medical outreaches inside of the red light district. And as you look at this procession of people that's coming out of this church that's right in the heart of the red light district, as you look at this procession, there's madams, there's pimps, there's ex-slaves that are walking in front of you that have the glory and the light of Christ upon their face because redemption has come to them. And that's really the hope. That's really the hope of the world, that there's no place too dark. There's no sin that can keep us from him. There's nothing that can keep us in bondage from the freedom that Christ can bring. The darkness can never extinguish the light.